Welcome to Click for IB Biology. We're studying topic D3.1, and here we're going to be looking at the male and female reproductive system structure and function. There's a PDF of this presentation that's linked into the description, which is down below the video, down there somewhere, where you will also find a link to 10 questions. There's answers there. Do those to check your understanding of the content of structure and function of the male and female reproductive system. So we will look at the male reproductive system first. Profile. This is a profile image from the front of the individual, and this is on the right hand side is a side image of the same structures. And of course we go straight into the idea that the testes, of which there are two, the structure is broadly symmetrical. This is where sperm cells are produced and go through the process of meiosis. Spermatogenesis is the name of the process, and they are produced in the testes structure here. Mature sperm cells are stored in the tubular system here of the Epididymis, and under sexual stimulation move up through this structure here, which is known as the vas deferens, which curves around and in front of the bladder, descending down into the region here where we have the two structures known as the seminal vesicles and of the prostate. Now, the seminal vesicles account for about 70% of the semen fluid, and this particularly contains sugars which are used in metabolism by the sperm cells, and interestingly, that sugar is believed to be fructose. Now, this is quite strange because most of our metabolism and respiration is based on the use of glucose, and the explanation for this is that it allows the sperm cells, which are specialized to fructose, means that they can outcompete any other cell for that particular energy source. The prostate is known as an area that produces enzymes and a number of other factors involved in ensuring the healthy functioning of the sperm cells, and itself contributes about 30% by volume of the semen. So once this combination of the seminal vesicles, the fluids from the prostate, are combined together with sperm cells, then we have the semen, which then travels down the common urethra, down through here, down through the penis structure. Remember that everything I've described on the left-hand side occurs on the right-hand side as well. And so the sperm cells will then move down through this penis structure, down through the urethra, with the penis structure used to introduce the sperm cells into the female. On the right-hand side, we have the image from the side of the person showing the organization in that way. You can see here in this image, we can see the presence of the pubic bone protecting the bladder structure in this area here, and the prostate's below the bladder and seminal vesicles in the same location, and so forth. Okay, let's take a look at the female reproductive system, drawn diagrammatically. If we start here, the primary thing of concern on both sides, note the symmetry here as well. These are the ovary on either side, so of course there are two, and they will carry, they're responsible for the process of meiosis and the production of the egg cells, and those egg cells released at ovulation travel down one of these tubes here, and these are oviducts. In former times, these were known as the fallopian tubes, but more commonly today, they're referred to the oviducts. Now, note that both oviducts then converge on the central structure here, which is the uterus. And I've highlighted in the diagram that the uterus has a lining to the uterus, which I've labeled here as G, and that's known as the endometrium. Myometrium. This is the lining of the uterus, which on a cyclic basis increases and decreases in its structure that we would know as the menstrual cycle. And then around the endometrium, C here, is the muscular component of the uterus wall, which is known as the myometrium. So, of course, myo, the prefix myo, relating to muscle. And, of course, that muscle is associated with the contractions necessary during childbirth. But we're getting ahead of ourselves when considering that. Let's then look further. So then the entrance to the uterus, E, if I extend the label here, that's the cervix. Now the cervix, for the most part, during the cycle, acts as a barrier to pathogens entering into the uterus. But during mid-cycle, it becomes opens up and allows sperm cells, if present, to move into this location here and up towards the oviducts to meet the egg cells. And the entrance, so the cervix then to sperm cells must be placed, broadly speaking, in this location here, so that they can enter through the cervix. And of course, that's achieved by the penis being introduced into structure F, which is the vagina, which is there, like this. And so the vagina structure is here, like so. And by the penis introducing the sperm cells into this location and then making their way up, and fertilization actually occurs within the oviducts, or successful fertilizations do. We have what is known as internal fertilization, with the child, the embryo, the zygote, developing within structure D in that location there. And so on this side here, we have the side view, and perhaps notably, what might surprise students is the reproductive system here is behind the bladder structure, and that the vagina goes in this direction, like so, pointing backwards in general terms. With the cervix, the uterus lies slightly forward, and then the oviducts go back again. And so we have a kind of a change of direction, which is almost like a Z shape going in that way. And it's perhaps worth mentioning is that the entire structure in front of you, the uterus and the oviducts, is not at all large where there's not a pregnancy. Typically, they would be described as being low down in the abdomen and about the size of a medium-sized orange would broadly get you in the right scale size to understand this structure. And of course, this will greatly increase in size should a pregnancy occur. So the next videos concerned with are with the cycles within the female reproductive cycles. There's a chance to subscribe to the channel there, and on the right hand side the playlist, so that you can access all the videos for D 3.1 reproduction. Thank you for listening.